What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining us. And on our previous posted breakdown of Daniel Dubois versus Oleksandr Usyk, I think Daniel Dubois is going to knock Usyk out. And in that video, we covered a part where Shawn Porter details a time where he fought Usyk in the amateurs, rocked him, beat him up, and beat him on points. In that video, there's no audio on that clip, so we're going to get into it now. Shawn Porter recounting the time he beat Usyk, the current heavyweight champion. Let's have a look.
Misfit that stoned on Instagram wants to know, how did you beat Usyk in the amateurs?
Man, amazing.
Shout out to these
fight.
men, by the way. Yeah.
Myself and Keith Thurman, along with a few other, it was 11 guys on the team. I don't remember who else was there. We fought. We had the Ukraine come over for a USA versus Ukraine duel, and that was right outside of Chicago. I don't remember the exact city, but right outside of Chicago. And Keith was 152. I was 165. So you imagine I think we had 101, 106, 112, 118, 125. I mean, everybody's coming back to the locker room and they coming back losing. You know what I mean? So me and Keith, we in the locker room, we getting warmed up and all that. And we looked at each other almost like the Bash brothers from Mighty Ducks. Yeah. We looked at each other and was like, yo, I ain't going home with a loss. You know what I mean? So he went out there. He did his thing. I go out there against Usyk. He's tall, 165, southpaw. And back then and I'll tell the story exactly how we fought on the point system. And you had to 3 out of 5 judges had to push a point within 1 second in order for you to get a point for the fight. So the first round, I was winning by like maybe 2 points. The second round, I think the second round was tied. And then going into the third round, I was up by 1 point. Going into the third round, the other assistant coach that we had, just before I got off the stool, he said, hey, Shawn, he grabbed my foot. He says, man, if you line this dude up and catch him with the right hand, you going to get him. And this final round, we were doing 4 2-minute rounds. I got to tell it all like it is.
Yeah.
Back then, we were doing 4 2-minute rounds. So this was the fourth round, 2 minutes. And like less than a minute into that round, I caught him with a right hand. And the right hand, he didn't stumble back, but he definitely took a couple steps back, enough for me to know that he was hurt. And I did Shawn Porter, just jumped on him, and I kept boxing, kept doing my thing.
By the way, yeah, this is what we covered in our breakdown video, which I posted at the beginning of this. Have a look on the channel, and we discussed and showed Usyk's vulnerability to the right hand. It's always been a thing for him. From back in the amateurs, throughout his cruiserweight career, and up against Derek Chisora, we saw the right hand landing numerous times. He's been dropped with body shots, straight right hands to the body. He's been beat up against the ropes. He's been dropped numerous times, actually. And the thing is, we have to remember in this fight, this is the first time he's fighting a live, dangerous heavyweight who's willing to put himself in danger to land a big shot, something Anthony Joshua couldn't do, and something we saw Derek Chisora do and give Usyk all the trouble in the world, with Chisora being a smaller heavyweight, older, and someone on the back end of his career. I personally think Dubois is going to do the job on Usyk. But let's continue to hear what Shawn Porter has to say.
And I ended up winning the fight by 4 points. I ended up winning the fight by like 4 points. And I remember that when my hand was raised, we're getting points after each round, and it was a close fight all the way to the end. And I remember thinking to myself, I earned that win. That wasn't a fight where I just got a victory because he came over to the U.S. Like, I actually earned that win, you know? And for anybody who could or wants to argue that, you could see that the points were close and very fair through the course of the entire fight, which is what also made me feel like it was a fair decision.
You ever run into him and just say, yeah, I beat the shit out of you in the amateurs?
No, never that, never that. But I was in Ukraine in 2018, and it was all love, man. People actually talk.
And there we have it, Shawn Porter detailing the time he beat up Usyk in the amateurs and won bout over him. People might talk about volume, activity, forward pressure. Daniel Dubois actually has that. People look at the Lorena fight, which was worse than it looked because the effects of Daniel Dubois getting dropped all those times was due to an injury that was playing up, and that's fully healed of him now. He's 100%. That's not going to be something we need to worry about. I look at that Lorena fight as a blip for Dubois, but looking at everything else of Dubois' career, he comes forward, he puts pressure, and he doesn't load up on shots. Yes, he does in instances, But a lot of the times he comes through with volumes, bursts of punches, not loading up on shots like 50-60% like on the power, and he really works his opponents when he gets them against the ropes. And we know Usyk's going to play on the ropes. He's going to move around the ring, and there's going to be instances where Dubois bats him off, cuts him off, has him against the ropes. And it's in those instances where I just see the right hand landing home for Dubois because he's so big. He throws to the body. He throws multiple punches in combinations at times, like 5, 6, 7 punches he does, Dubois, when he lets go. It's going to be very interesting to see how Usyk deals with it. I'm going with Daniel Dubois. I personally feel the fights over AJ was a given if you got another very skilled cruiserweight, or even just another skilled, talented heavyweight that can box Bakoda Jalalov, Jared Anderson, these sorts of people. They would do a worse job on Anthony Joshua than Usyk done. And for that reason, I'm going with Daniel Dubois. Let me know what you think in the comment section below of this. And, also Shawn Porter's fight over Usyk. If anyone's got the link of the actual fight, post it. Like, subscribe, and we'll be back with more.